Hello everyone, welcome to NASCAR News Kid. The NASCAR Cup Series just wrapped up the regular season in Daytona, and from what I remember this year, that is what a super speedway should be, not like what we've had all along this year. This was the best super speedway this year. I'll get to why and how I say that, results, a recap, the finish, playoff picture heading into Daytona for the round of 16, 36 for 36, big names out of the playoffs, and plenty more to get to. But before we get to it, I'll remind you to hit that like button and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you like NASCAR, I would consider subscribing. You are in the right place. Anyway, skip the recap, I guess. That's what we usually do, but let's get right to the finish. Because it's a super speedway, and this finish needs to be talked about right now. So let's get right to it. Let's set the stage. Restart with 8 laps to go in Daytona. Jones and Justin Haley. Eric Jones and Justin Haley are on the front row. They both need to win to make the playoffs, so they're going to be desperate. Another driver that's going to be desperate. Row 2. Ryan Preece and Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson already has a win. Ryan Preece needs to win to make the playoffs. And row 3 lined up with his RFK teammate Chris Buescher, and Chase Elliott lined up with his Hendrick teammate for the restart. So on the restart, Ryan Preece gets up to the outside lane and ditches his teammate Chris Buescher, which was way too early to ditch your teammate. And it's still 2 to go, so, yeah. And now it's coming to 2 laps to go. See, Preece getting a little impatient, wants to win, and he gets up to the outside lane after Eric Jones gets shoved by Kyle Larson. Jones gets loose and gets shoved up and shuffled out of the chance of winning. Preece takes his spot, gets up on the outside lane, and Preece gets shuffled by the Hendrick club. Hendrick goes around him, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Preece is going through the middle, no help. His race is over probably as well, along with Jones. Soon a third lane is coming after Preece with Cole Custer and Ryan Blaney. They are flying up to the front of the field. Justin Haley and Cole Custer, they're battling on the backstretch. Justin Haley shoves Cole Custer down below the yellow line, so there won't be a penalty for Custer. But Custer and Justin Haley, 2 drivers, going after it. They need to win to make the playoffs, and that's the final lap. But they don't see Justin Haley, does not see Ryan Blaney coming up on the outside. Remember, the outside lane, like I said, Cole Custer came up on the outside lane. It was a rocket ship on that final lap. And Cole Custer loses tons of momentum. Justin Haley, tons of momentum. Ryan Blaney all of a sudden has a huge shove. I forget who was shoving him, but they did an excellent job. And Blaney just comes up on that outside line. He takes the opportunity, and he runs away with the checkered flag, but it didn't come easy. 4 wide finish. Wow. Justin Haley, Daniel Suarez up on the outside lane, I believe, and Cole Custer to the inside of Blaney at the finish line. That was incredible. That was the best super speedway finish we've seen this year. And Blaney, I don't know what is about Blaney, but he just wins in the super close Daytona finishes, super close super speedway finishes. But nonetheless, Ryan Blaney sneaks by, 2nd win this season, and was 13th with 2 laps to go. Like I said, came flying up on that outside lane with Cole Custer and a couple other drivers trying to lock themselves into the playoffs, racing their way in. Unfortunately, Cole Custer and Justin Haley did not get the job done, and Suarez and all those other cars, 20-something cars that wanted to win to make the playoffs. So, bad race for many of those guys. Bad seasons for many of those guys trying to make the playoffs. One of them, Daniel Suarez, bad year. Zilich was announced that he will be replacing him in the Cup level in 2026. Zilich, 8-7 wins in the Xfinity Series, replacing Suarez in 2026. Suarez comes up with a runner-up finish, and that team's on a roll. good in Richmond. Had a solid race the week before, so yeah, they definitely have momentum going into the playoffs. If only they could have won, because then they could have probably made it farther than what most people would think, and even making the playoffs was farther than what most people would think for Suarez, but unfortunately he does not make the playoffs. Justin Haley finishes third, his first top 5 this season, and yeah, he has not been good, not even close to the speed McDowell's had. Fastest laps for McDowell. Hosts of ours had speed, but engines have expired. We'll get to his issue in this race in a moment. And could be getting replaced in 2026, just like Daniel Suarez. Who knows? Maybe Daniel Suarez will replace Justin Haley in 2026. But he is definitely on the hot seat, the hottest seat in the Cup Series going into 2026. So he needs to perform. And a win would fix everything for sure. So if only Justin Haley could have gotten it done. One driver I was cheering on just to mess up the whole grid, Cole Custer. Xfinity champion. People doubt him. People forget that win in Kentucky in 2020, but his chance for the win ended when he got forced below the yellow line. I think he should have stayed with Ryan Blaney, to be honest, but then he would have been too late to make a move, so just nowhere to go for Cole Custer and that team. Chris Buescher was second on the inside at the finish line. RFK does not make the playoffs entirely this year. That is a huge disappointment with the speed they had there. Preece and Buescher were both top 16 in points, but they don't make the playoffs, could not get to victory lane, and that is very disappointing. Now, before the final restart, another Team Penske car was having a good run. Joey Logano was leading. He led the most laps, by the way. Was leading and got spun by a shove from someone. I forget who that someone was. I think it maybe was Justin Haley. But Logano got spun from the lead and wrecked and finished 27th or something like that. So definitely not the run Logano wanted. I think he was pretty mad in the end. We'll have to see about that going into the playoffs. He's usually turned the switch on as soon as he gets to the playoffs. So we'll see. Can he go and win the championship? As he always will have to see about that. Anyway, results. Ryan Blaney picks up the win. Second win of the season. Second for Daniel Suarez. Solid effort once again. Third for Justin Haley. If only he could have gotten that win, it would change the whole complexion of the season. Fourth for Cole Custer. Solid effort. Fifth for Erik Jones. Like I said, got shuffled out of the lead by Kyle Larson. Just a huge shove. And speaking of Kyle Larson, P6 for him. Won stage 1, so it wasn't that bad. First stage win in quite a while. I'd say like May or something. But still solid by him. Not too bad. 7th for Chris Buescher. Not too bad, but would have wanted the win. RFK misses the playoffs entirely, like I just mentioned. Ty Gibbs misses the playoffs once again. Finishes 8th. What could have been this year as well. We said it the year before. But Ty Gibbs misses the playoffs once again. One driver who did make the playoffs indeed, though, Josh Berry, P9. Solid effort, had some speed, was in the top 3 at one point. I believe he led a couple laps, so not too bad by him. 10th for Chase Elliott, who is like 6th or something on the restart, finishes 10th. 11th for Todd Gilliland, spun with Tyler Reddick early in stage 1, I believe, and rallies back for a top 15. 12th for Michael McDowell, solid effort by the Spire cars, aside from Hocevar. We'll get to his situation, like I said, in a few moments. 13th for Christopher Bell, solid, was quiet, not the best super speedway racer. 14th for Ryan Preece, who probably would have wanted to get that win and get in the playoffs. That was their whole hope coming in, but just could not get even one into the playoffs, which truly does stink as an RFK fan. Ross Chastain, who won Stage 2, finishes 15th, so not too bad. And now for our notables. A huge shout out to Shane Van Gisbergen, P16, leading laps at a plate track. That was awesome to see. He was top 15 at Richmond, yet again another top 20 at a plate track. And with the chaos, that kind of helped him. Nothing to take away from Shane, because he is improving on the ovals. That is just a fact. 17th for Nemechek, solid effort, led a couple laps, not too bad for him. 18th for Brad Keselowski, just was not there with Preece and Buescher, in my opinion, just could not get up front. The highest I saw him was like 3rd, so not the best for Keselowski. Misses the playoffs after multiple chances he could have won this season. 19th for William Byron, regular season champion, locked that up at Richmond, so not a big surprise. And I want to give my biggest shout out. People will be hating on him all the time, but Cody Ware, P20, led 3rd most laps, led like 23 laps tonight. Probably his best career race. Most laps he's led in his career in one single race. Incredible. It looked fantastic seeing that car up front. I thought all those comments of people on YouTube saying, oh, Cody Ware, the GOAT's gonna win, because he is pretty good at plate tracks. Finished 4th year earlier, last year. It was coming to life, but just could not get the pace and moves right there in the end. 21st for Reddick, wrecked early in Stage 1. Still not too bad. Beats out Alex Bowman in points, so that is good for their part. 23rd for Briscoe, solid by him. 25th for Denny Hamlin, tons of damage. Just was riding around, blew a tire multiple times, so yeah, just not good for Hamlin. 27th for Logano, got wrecked from the lead like I mentioned, so not good for him at all. Not the result they were wanting. 33rd, around 60 laps down for Kyle Busch. All you Kyle Busch fans, you have suffered over the past year and a half now, 2 years. He has not made the playoffs, so a huge disappointment. 33rd, had a ton of damage from that crash, which Bubba Wallace was involved in. We'll get to that in a few moments. 34th for Hocevar, like I said, blew an engine. That team has just had multiple blown engines, so not good by them. 36th for Bowman out of the race. 37th for Bubba Wallace. So basically Wallace got a huge shove from someone, I forget who that was. I think it was Larson. And got shoved and hit Logano. Busch spun, and it caused a huge pileup. So yeah, that's basically the short end of it. 38th for Gragson, 39th for Cindric, and 40th for Riley Herbst. Now let's take a look at the playoff look going into Darlington. Kyle Larson is plus 26 first in standings. Second for William Byron, also plus 26. Third for Hamlin, plus 23. Fourth for Blaney, plus 20. 5th for Bell, plus 17. 6th for Shane Van Gisbergen, plus 16. 7th for Chase Elliott, plus 7. 8th for Briscoe, plus 4. 9th for Wallace, plus 2. Cindric, 10th, plus 2. 11th for Chastain, plus 1. 12th for Logano, plus 1. And then the danger zone already. 13th for Josh Berry, minus 1. Minus 1 for Reddick in 14th. 15th for Austin Dillon, minus 2. And Bowman, minus 5 in 16th. So we'll have to see how that shapes up at the trickiest track, arguably, on the schedule, Darlington. So we'll definitely have to see. We've seen drivers get issues there in the past, and I think it will definitely continue going into this coming weekend. But nonetheless, I'll have a full predictions for the playoffs as well as 36-4-36 video preview for Darlington coming out this week. And speaking of 36-4-36, me and my brother gained 27 points on me this race, picking John Nemechek. I picked and he did gain 27 points, but he got 27 points, and I got 17 points picking Cody Ware, which was a solid pick. Like I said, led tons of laps, 3rd most laps led, so really good showing by Ware. I was cheering him on. I want him to win because I picked him, so Solid effort. I'm minus 61 points behind my brother. My brother has 659. I have 590 or 598. So yeah, definitely looking good. I can make up 61 points to win this championship with my brother. At least that's what I say. He'll probably disagree. But yeah. That's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, full playoff predictions video coming out this week along with 36 preview for Darlington. And yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review and analysis for the regular season finale at Daytona. And until next time, see you before Darlington. Bye, everyone.